Grand Rising. We're going to be talking about abundance today. So if you want to listen to a live about abundance and the abundance mindset, this is live for you. We're going to be reading from The Science of Getting Rich and the Tiny Abundance book. So listen up. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Almost time for the fake new year of 2024. Buckle up. It's probably about to get crazy. Grand Rising fam, how we doing? Happy to be here. Having elbow pain this morning, which is a pain in the ass, but it's coming from my neck. I've had tennis in the golfer's elbow for a really long time, so I'm just working on my elbows are getting better every day, but I have to get adjusted, so I have to get into my chiropractor and also see an acupuncturist. But I do have all my patches on, so that also helps tremendously with the inflammation. Grand Rising, what's going on, people? So I'm listening to a lot of manifestation stuff and just being a lot more observant in my own world with the way that people show up for themselves, with the way that I show up for me. And since doing this work, I know that I've shifted tremendously. What's up, everybody? And it's a very empowering feeling when you realize that you truly have the power over your reality and you have the choice of how you're going to feel about something. In our programming, the feelings come automatically, right? Because it's a program. Someone does something to you and then you feel like this in response of that because of our programming, because we're used to I'm always abandoned, because I'm used to I'm not always treated with respect, those things, right? But when you start to do this work and you shift from those subconscious programmings or those very limiting beliefs, your reality does start to shift with that. And then when things do happen in your reality that you don't feel are favorable to you, you begin to respond differently. Where before maybe you would get really depressed or really anxious, now you're able to observe. Now you're able to see things and say, which of my thoughts has created this reality? Why is it that I attracted this situation, this person, this scenario into my life? And that's an empowering feeling. Rather than being victimized by your circumstances or reality, you then take responsibility for yourself and say, I did this, I created this. What of my thoughts or of my programming created this current situation? Thank you. So once we have the awareness of our thoughts, we can then have the awareness of our reality to say, yep, I did that. Yep, I totally did that. Oh, I'm not making X amount of dollars because I'm focusing on the lack. I'm focusing on my business not doing as well. I'm focusing on having all these bills to pay, right? So when we understand that our thoughts create the reality that we have and that we are in a simulated game, we realize that we're holding the controllers to move our guy where we want it to go. And that controller is our consciousness. So the game of life can be played in any way that you want it to. You just have to have the awareness that it can be played that way. And when you attract people in your life that don't have the understanding of this, as Christians, we pull from our reality from what is within us by expressing on others what we have within. Can you explain that a little bit? My brain's not really computing that sentence. So can you explain that a little bit? And then I can comment on that. But again, when you attract people into your life that are not conscious of that which they are, it's a challenge, right? We have to say, why are we attracting people that are still don't have that awareness? And that's something obviously within us that we are still not aware of ourselves. So our own consciousness is saying to us This person is reflecting back to you that which you are. So if you're still drawing in people that don't have that consciousness and awareness and are not where you are on that level, there's sort of still a part of you that is not conscious or aware of the things that need to be addressed within yourself. And it still happens to me. Maybe it's a reminder of how far we come. It definitely is. I could say that much because you're just like, and that's a really good point, because then you say to yourself, that's not the reality that I ever want to live in again. When someone is saying out loud that they have this type of mindset, or, you know, they have a poor man's mentality or something like that, when I hear things like that, I'm very triggered by it. And I'm triggered by it because I used to be that person. I don't think I've ever said the words that I have a poverty mindset or anything like that. But I do know that those beliefs were within me. Those beliefs that I just have enough money. Okay, if I make this amount of money, I'll just this amount of money to pay my bills, and then I can buy this amount of money with, you know, those shoes that I wanted or something like that. That I used to think like that. I thought like that all the time because I was living on a dancer's salary, and my mindset was in direct alignment and proportion to the mindset that I grew up with from my mother and my father. They constantly thought about money all the time. So when I hear that from a person now, oh yeah, I love that, but I just can't afford it right now. When I hear those sentences like that now, oh, I wish I could afford that, or I would love to go with you, but I just can't spend that money right now, I am very triggered by it. Not because it's the person's fault, although it is, because we are all responsible for our programming and changing it if we're conscious and aware of it, but because I used to be that person. We have to speak it. We have to speak it as written as truth. I used to deal with rejection, and so now I speak it as written. I am accepted in the beloved. Now I no longer deal with rejection. Exactly. So, and that's what it's going to talk about in both of these books is that you speak as though it has already happened. I am always loved and I am chosen, in a simpler way of what she said. I am chosen. I am always the first to be chosen. If it's about friendships, I have so many amazing friends that are truthful and honest with me. I'm in the happiest relationship, right? All of these things, speaking as if. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm in the perfect house. And then add on your, whatever it is that is your specifics. I'm so happy and grateful I live in this perfect house that has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, whatever it might be, in the most amazing neighborhood. Getting specific, right? If we're writing an order out to the universe through our consciousness, what are all the specifics that you would like to have or that you already have, because we live in the state of already having them? So I'm just going to start first from reading from the Abundance book, which many of you know that I have read from. Since the beginning of the civilized world, enlightened ones have taught that prosperity is a part of the natural process of life. What do you do when a friend who's in a negative mindset most of the time? You have 2 options. One is see them differently. John, I talked to you last week. You didn't call me since then. What was I just saying? Oh, about a person. You can either see them differently and say, this person is so positive, I'm so proud of all the changes that they're making. Or you can say to them, the reason why your reality is the way that it is because of your thinking. We don't have to be mean about it, but just give someone a gentle reminder that they might need, that the reason why your reality is like this is because as a result of your thinking. Let's change our mindsets together. Let's do a challenge. Right? You can do a challenge with your friend. You can talk about your I amness with your friend. I am this. We already know how important that is because we talk about it every single time I'm on here. So lavish abundance is the unquestionable nature of each individual. Let's read this whole sentence again. Since the beginning of the civilized world, enlightened ones have taught that prosperity is a part of the natural process of life. The natural process of life is not living in lack. The natural process of life is living in I can't afford. The natural process of life is lavish abundance. That is unquestionable. That is the unquestionable nature of each individual. Each of us. And the reason why the author says this is because each of us has equal opportunity to tap into the abundance that is here on this planet or this plane. Every one of us. No matter if you grew up in dirt poor poverty or if you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, every single one of us has equal opportunity to the abundance on this earth because it's only a frequency that you tap into. And abundance comes a lot easier for people that grew up with a mindset of abundance, where they had parents that had loads and loads of money. So thinking about, I can't afford this, was never a thought for people that always had money. But it's literally just a state of mind. Your abundance, or what abundance that you have, is in direct relation to the way that you feel about money and abundance. If you believe that money comes to you easily and effortlessly, you will always make money. It'll just come to you. Someone will just randomly call you and be like, hey, I got this job for you. Hey, can you work this gig? I have a gig for you. It's paying you X amount of dollars. I'm going to give you a really good example of when I was still in the lack mindset. And although I was working on my mentality, this is years ago. This is, I don't even know, 7, 8 years ago when I lived in LA. And I was working with this celebrity doing her makeup. And she had this job. And this is when I was just starting to begin making more money with hair and makeup jobs, which obviously pay way more than any dance job ever could. And I was happy with making $400 a day as a makeup artist, right? Which is not a lot of money, honestly. So this job that this celebrity got me, I was doing a commercial around Christmas time. And it was a cereal commercial. And she said, they want to know what your day rate is. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, well, I don't want to, I want to get this job. So like, I don't want to scare them away with my pricing. Like, what am I going to charge them? So I charged them, it was a 3-day job. I charged them $400 a day. So after this job was done, the person that hired me said, oh, honey, I spoke to, I don't remember who it was, the producer or whatever. She said, why would you only ask for $400 a day? I was like, well, that's, I thought that was pretty good. Like, I didn't want to scare them. Or maybe I asked for $600 a day. I don't remember exactly what it was. She said, honey, they had budgeted $10,000 just for you for the job. So here I was making, if I charged $600, $1,800 for the whole job, because I was afraid that they were not going to hire me if I asked for more, which I was never going to, especially with the mindset that I had. But she said they had allotted $10,000 for you for this job. That is what I mean by not living in the abundance mindset. Knowing your worth and value. So my lesson in that was never give somebody an offer. Let them give you the offer. And then if it's way too low, you say, no, this is what my day rate is. So that if they do say, okay, well, we have $10,000 allotted in the budget for you, I'll be like, okay, thank you. Yes, book me. How are you supposed to know that? It's not about knowing that. It's about knowing your worth and value. In my mind, I was saying like, oh, I'm only going to ask for this amount of money because I want them to hire me. Like, I want to get the job. If I was in the abundance mindset, I would say exactly what I wanted. What I really, really knew that I was worth, instead of aiming low and then they tell me they had $10,000 in the budget for me to work for them. So they're like, what? This person just charging us $1,800 and we have $10,000 in the budget for them? Great, more money for X, Y, and Z. Or more money in our pockets. So that was a huge eye-opener for me, that I was just like, wow, I really just cheated myself. And not because I should have known what their budget was, but to play smarter. But to know my worth and value. That was a huge eye-opener for me. This was me not living in the unquestionable nature that abundance is lavish for everyone. Because it is. Money and abundance is a vibrational frequency. My father always told me I was not charging enough for what my work, for what my artwork at shows taught me to know my worth. I'm self-employed. I think I will start charging more. When you expand your mind and when you realize your worth and value, you won't feel weird to ask for it, because the people that are very, very, very overly willing to pay what you're asking for will just show up. When we know our worth and value, those customers will just show up for us. There's a really cool place that I go to, and they charge like nothing for really, really good food from like local farms. And it's like, why would you charge so little for this? And not because you should get price gouge people. I'm not saying that. But what does it say about what they believe about their products, right? You rose to the frequency and new people appear. And that's what happened. Then I manifested going on tour and making more money than I had ever made up until that point. Because I knew my worth and value. The person that I worked for, I changed her entire career. She was a legend. I changed her entire career by me knowing my worth and value. I just changed how she felt about herself. Because I knew that I could change how she felt about herself by enhancing how beautiful she already was. Knowing your worth and value. So whatever it is that you're working at and working towards, know what your worth is, because abundance is abundant everywhere in creation. There really is no lack. The only lack that exists is in your mind. Just like they say, oh, they're telling us that there's, that water supply is running low or whatever. There is no lack on this earth. That's only a program. So the only lack that truly exists is the lack in your mind. Because there isn't lack anywhere else. There are enough cars to be made for every person to drive one. There is enough water for everyone to drink water. There is enough everything. There are enough trees and plants to provide oxygen. There is enough of everything on this earth. But if you tap into a mindset where you don't believe that there is enough, you'll never have enough. I'm a personal trainer. I doubt myself, but always have great feedback and results. Again, it's all about a mindset. So you're getting the great feedback, and that is just reflecting to you, on the inside somewhere that you are amazing at what you do. But there's some kind of programming that is a limited belief system that says, yeah, I shouldn't charge this much. I'm only going to charge this much. I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to play it small. Instead of knowing that when I change my prices, the right people are going to come to me. People that truly want my skills and services will find me. That's the things that you write down in your journaling every day. Those are the things that you visualize in your mind. That, oh my God, my phone is so full with people that I have no time for myself, if that's what you want. Oh my God, my whole entire schedule is booked for weeks out. And they have no problem paying for what I want to charge. It is getting delusional. You have to live in the delusional mind state that I have all the things that I want. I have the perfect clients that never complain about my prices. They happily pay for my services. Right? Like when people are in business And they constantly get people that don't want to spend their money, or they have the money and they want to be cheap and they want their prices lowered. And why are you charging so much for this? That is also a part of your mindset. That you are attracting people that don't want to part with their money because you probably don't want to part with yours. So what is the mindset of, I have clients that absolutely love to pay for my services. I have clients that love to pay for the things that I have to offer because they trust me and I have integrity. There are a million different ways that you can play that out in your mind, as long as you're playing it out in your mind in the way that is fulfilling for you, whatever that might be. Through the centuries, countless men and women accepted this truth, realized the law of infinite plenty within, and moved above the illusion of scarcity into the reality of unlimited wealth. Notice they didn't say the law of infinite plenty without. It's the law of infinite plenty within, because abundance is nothing more than your state of mind. You'll never have the amount of money that you want or the amount of abundance that you want when you're constantly sitting there saying, yeah, my business is never going to work out. Oh my God, it's so slow. Even if it is slow, you have to live in the mindset that everything is booming. My business is booming. I have more money than I know what to do with, if that's what your desire is. I am making X amount of dollars every single week effortlessly. That is the different state of being where we tap into abundance versus, yeah, I'm just not going to charge that much because I don't want to scare people away because then I won't have any money. That's what I was thinking with that makeup job where I blew $10,000. I charged them $600 a day for a 3-day shoot when they had a budget allotted for $10,000 for me because I was playing it safe and I didn't want to scare them away with the price. So I think I was going to charge them like $1,200 a day or something like that, which was still way under their budget. They prove for themselves that the energy of abundance is constantly radiating from the source within and flowing out to appear as money and financial well-being. Let's read that sentence again. They proved for themselves that the energy of abundance is constantly radiating from the source within. If we know that abundance radiates from us from within, then so does poverty. If we can create abundance from within ourselves, then obviously we can also create poverty, which is where many of us or most of us resonate. So if you can create poverty and that stems from within, from your belief system, then obviously you can create abundance that stems from the source within and flowing out to appear as money. So if we are constantly radiating abundance from within ourselves, I'm so happy and grateful that I have 10 plants in my apartment. I am so happy and grateful that I have the perfect job and I have amazing friends and beautiful relationships. That when that radiates from within you, what flows out into your reality is what reflects what's inside of you. So if you're constantly thinking about the abundance that you have and you're so grateful for the things that you already have, it appears as money and financial well-being on the outside. I'm so happy and grateful for all the clothes that I get to wear every single day. I'm so happy and grateful for the amazing organic foods that I get to eat every single day. I'm so happy and grateful for the car that I have that gets me from point A to point B. It's just starting to live in a state of gratitude. And when you start to live in a state of gratitude, that reflects your outside world. What one has done, all can do. The secret is to be aware of this unfailing principle, to understand that lack is simply the out-picturing of false beliefs. False beliefs. And to know that as you make the correction in your consciousness, you will become a channel for the activity of ever-expanding affluence in your life. It's really that simple. Everything that happens in our reality is an out-picturing of our in-picturing. If in our minds we are picturing, how am I going to pay for this? I can't afford that. How am I going to buy my kids Christmas presents? All these things. If that is what you are in picturing, that is the only thing that could be out pictured. Example, film cameras, right? You have to develop the film. When you take a picture on film and you develop the film, what comes out on the film? The picture that you took. It doesn't change. It's literally a stamp, a permanent stamp on that film. And when you develop that film, that is what comes out in that picture. It is the same thing in your mind. When you take a picture of something in your mind, I can't afford this. The only out picture that could come out of those thoughts is the same thing that you took a picture of in your mind. So you're like, well, shit, why does my reality look like this? Because that is what you're picturing in your mind. So if you're picturing it in your mind, it is going to be out pictured into your reality. If you're taking a picture in your mind that someone is unfaithful to you and that they cheat on you, or that they're talking to someone else, or you're always worried, constantly worried that you're being cheated in life, that is a mental picture. The only out picture of that in picture is the same thing. So that's why it's like, be careful what you're thinking. Be careful what you wish for. Because whether you know it or not, the things that you're thinking in your mind are the things that you're wishing for, even if they're bad. When will we begin to use the mind to our greatest advantage? The things that we dwell upon, that we think feelingly about, are the things that happen in our reality. And it's not even about positivity. Because someone said, always trying to be positive. Because negative assholes can manifest anything that they want. You don't have to be positive. It's a belief. So you could be the biggest dick on earth and still attract abundance. You could be the biggest asshole on earth and still attract the perfect partner for you. It's a belief that you have about yourself. You ever see people that you're like, oh, that person is so conceited. What an asshole they are. But they get all the things that they want though, don't they? Because it's a belief. They believe I get whatever I want. You don't have to be nice. Unfortunately, you don't have to be nice to get the things that you want. It's a belief. That's all that it is. I believe that I can have all the things that I want. I know that I get money effortlessly and easily. I know that I can have him or her anytime I want them. It is a belief. That's all that it is. So it's not about being positive, although that's a very much better vibration to put out into the world than a negative one. Right? So that's obviously a positive thing. But all I'm saying to you is that it doesn't have to do with your positivity. Unfortunately. I'm beginning to look for new clients in the new year. I already knew I had so many distorted beliefs about running a business, and this conversation is helping straighten it. So again, you're saying, I'm beginning to look for new clients. In your mind, you have to see yourself already having them. I'm so happy and grateful that I have the best clients in my business. And before you're going to sleep and as you're going to sleep, see it. See how busy you are. See how happy people are with your work and what you offer them. Right? We don't have to try. I mean, we do, realistically, like in the three-dimensional world. But it happens in our mind first. So if you're saying to yourself, oh, I have to try and get these clients. I'm going to try and get these clients, after this date. Try means you don't have. But when we come from a state of, for example, again, if I didn't have jobs like lined up in LA, I would say an overabundance of money flows freely to me through my talents. I would say it just randomly all day long. And all of a sudden, the very next day, or even hours later, someone would say, hey, I have a hair and makeup job for you. It pays X amount of dollars. Hey, I have this dance job for you. Do you want to take it? It's all according to our thoughts and how we think. But it's also already believing that we have it. Like, that was a simple statement. An overabundance of money flows freely to me through my talents on a daily basis. That was the whole thing. So my talents were wardrobe styling, hair and makeup, modeling gigs, dance coordinator. So I had all these talents, right? Acting. An overabundance of money flows freely to me through my talents on a daily basis. I'm glad. Have a great, successful day at work. And that's all that I said. But it was the belief that I knew that it was going to come. And it just did. An overabundance of money flows freely to me through my talents on a daily basis. That's saying it's already done. So whatever shows up, it's already done. An overabundance of money flows freely to me through my talents on a daily basis. I'm like, show me what's showing up today. And you personalize your affirmations to yourself, right? To your own thing that you want in your life. But for me, I wanted to make money through my talents. Love from Costa Rica. I knew that I wanted to make money through my talents. It's getting specific. Whatever your job is, get specific with where you want your abundance to come from. Because I tell this story all the time. A person was just like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. And all of a sudden, their parents got in a car accident and died and left them millions of dollars. Now they're a millionaire. So it's about the specificity of the things that you want. The things that you want to attract into your life. Going back to our abundance book. What one has done, all can do. I'm not special. Right? I mean, people would say that I am special. I'm saying I'm not special in a sense that what I can do doesn't mean that you can't do it. Or that you can't have it. Because it's only a state of mind. What I have is a state of being. What one has done, all can do. This is why I teach this, because this is not about something that can't be duplicated. Like, this is your own mind. This is about your own mindset that could be duplicated into an abundance mindset, a mindset that I am always loved and chosen, right? I am making more money than I could ever even imagine. It's only a mindset. What one has done, all can do. It's why they called the law of attraction the secret. Because this is the secret. Is wrangling your own thoughts and minds to give you the reality that you actually want. That's the secret. And if everybody lived like this, war could not exist in this reality. Poverty could not exist in this reality. If every person had an abundant mindset, a mindset of gratitude, that got rid of their programming that they're not loved or they're not chosen, that I'm always abandoned or I'm always abused, I'm always a victim of my circumstances, I'm always sick. If people got rid of that I amness in any negative way, all the bad things in life couldn't happen. It could not exist because it's a belief system. If I believe every single day that everything great happens to me all the time, everything great happens to me all the time. I have more money than I can ever need. I have all the love that I never got as a child. I have it now. Right? What one has done, all can do. The secret is to be aware of this unfailing principle, to understand that lack, again, is the outpicturing of false beliefs. Lack is the outpicturing of false beliefs. I think I read like 3 sentences. But this is the abundance book that I was reading from. If we understand that all that abundance is tapping into a belief system, where we have all the things that we could ever need. I have everything. I am so happy and grateful that I have all the things that I need. I am so happy and grateful that I have the most amazing family and I have 3 children and 2 horses, whatever it is that you would like in your own reality. I am is a present statement. I am so happy and grateful. Oh my God, I am so sick today. You keep speaking that shit into existence, it's always going to be there. Oh my God, I am in so much pain today. Yesterday, I started to complain about my elbows. So I need to get adjusted, and it comes from your neck, right? The tennis elbow, golfer's elbow stems from the neck. It doesn't come from the elbows. I started to complain yesterday, and I'm like, I stopped myself right in my tracks, and I said, I am so happy that my elbows are getting better every single day. I know that I need to get adjusted. I know that I need to go to an acupuncturist, right? I had patches on my elbows. I didn't put them on yet yesterday. It helped tremendously, but if I don't get my neck aligned to where it needs to be, it pinches a nerve that goes down your arm to your elbows. So instead of me complaining about it, which I started to do yesterday, because the pain was so bad, like it was making me nauseous. Elbow pain, imagine that. It's a dull pain. It's the most annoying pain that you could ever have. But I said, my elbows are getting better every day. And then right after I said that, I went and put a patch on my elbows, and then shortly enough, they felt better. So it was like, that was a quick manifestation. Like, hello, pay attention. Do what you need to do to get into the mindset that you have to get into. Set reminders. I told somebody, I told you guys, one manifestation coach that I worked with a couple years ago said, put a rubber band around your wrist. Every time you have a negative thought, just pull it and snap it. The spiritual meaning of why that's happening to you. I think it was, I think elbow pain was rigid and afraid of moving forward or something like that. I have looked it up, but I haven't looked it up for a while. And I think it's about moving forward, which makes sense right now because I've been in kind of like a holding pattern. Oh, the neck too. I don't remember what the neck was, but I looked up Louise Hay, her metaphysical meaning. Yes, that's true. I'm going to look up the neck right after we get off of here. But I intended this was helpful for everybody because it's always helpful for me to hear this shit and read it and then just really think about it together with us collectively, because I know that this information is just going to expand to people around you, with people around me. Someone in your life has a pain in the neck. Oh, God. No comment. But Barb, yeah. Benny says, I have a lot of pain currently, but I am grateful it's not worse. Yeah, me too. So I didn't read The Science of Getting Rich, but the abundance book is just where it needed to be today. We needed to read from the abundance book today. So I hope everybody has an amazing weekend, and I will see you in the new fake year, guys, 2024. Have a beautiful weekend, and everybody stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. It's not worth it. If you need to resort to alcohol, then you need to make some changes in your life. If you want to constantly be in an altered state, some shit is fucked up in your life that needs to be straightened out. So have a very safe weekend. Don't do drugs and don't drink. Your body is your temple. Treat it like one. Love you all. I'll see you on Monday morning, I think. I have to do my nephew's makeup. He's in the parade. He's in the Mummers Parade, so he's having me do some crazy makeup on him. I do it every year. So we'll be getting up very, very early, probably about 4 o'clock in the morning, to do his face and get him dressed up for the Mummer. So have a beautiful day and weekend. I love you back. And I'll see you in the fake new year.